Hi, this is Kerry Dixon. I'm here to introduce you to Moodle. Moodle is a powerful online course tool that is used for educational purposes, the transferring of information and knowledge. This video is not going to teach you how to use Moodle, but it will give you a bit of an overview of what Moodle is used for. And then after that, it would be, advisable to actually take up one of the Moodle courses where you have the experts in the field delivering the course and how to use it and how to create your own personal course. But for now, this is just to give an overview of what the course can do and who it can help. So we'll go in first to this tab here, and this is what is Moodle. So Moodle is a virtual classroom. It's a classroom where you can create individual tasks, a unit of work, or an entire course of work for people who are either face-to-face students in your classroom possibly, who you might want them to do additional coursework or homework. It's also great, it's fantastic for 100% remote students who choose to learn online for whatever reason, and they have full access to quality teaching and quality resources. And in fact, I actually did most of my education online, not using Moodle, but from personal experience, it was the best way that very well catered to my learning style, which was wonderful. So it's accessible to people all around the globe. It can fit in with a busy schedule. You're not necessarily limited to a time. It can be tailor-made for a particular demographic of people, and the teachers and tutors, trainers, they can obtain valuable feedback from the data that their program produces to make sure that students are reaching their targets, achieving objectives, etc. Regarding communication, the communication is so strong as it should be in the day of communication technology. So it has live video, there could be pre-recorded classes like webinars, there's instant messaging, blogs, emails, live chat, and it's very, very efficient, and most of it links back into the students' email account, so they're always being told that there's a new message for them, there's a new email, there's a new video to watch. So it keeps communication very strong. Who can use Moodle? Anybody can use Moodle. You could be you could own a cooking club and produce videos and present recipes. Anybody can really use Moodle who wants to share information and keep a track on who it is that is using this information. So that's where we go with what is Moodle. Clicking on to the next tab, we say working with Moodle. Well, like anything, before you commence anything, some planning has to go into it. It starts with an idea, then the mental planning, the brainstorming, mind mapping, and writing down what it is that you are trying to achieve in your course. So as far as I'm an English teacher, and if I was going to maybe teach a course of work on an analysis of a novel, I would have to think about seriously what sort of tabs up here, across here, would I want for my course, where my students are going to be very easily able to navigate through the course and not waste valuable time searching, getting lost, and not being able to find their way back. So, I might have something like, chapters of the book, abridged chapters of the book here. I might have a tab here that would discuss characters, profiles. I might have one here that would deal with a bit of historical information about the background of the book or the author of the book. And under here I might have some other quizzes. So they would have obviously different titles on the tabs, and just like this course, this is saying what is Moodle, working with Moodle, and then we'll work along to, if people wanted to know, well, what is a block, we can go into this tab and find out what blocks are. But essentially, you need to put some planning in place so that you are clear in what you are trying to deliver to your students, which increases the chances of your students understanding what it is you're delivering. One of the models used is the ADDIE model, which deals with analysis, working out what the requirements and needs of the students are, designing the learning objectives to deliver to the students in a particular format, developing the course, implementing the course, and then evaluating the results. And once that's done, it doesn't stop. It is a continual process, continual improvement, because courses change and grow and evolve, and therefore this process should never really stop. At some point, of course, in here, maybe under evaluation, you want to have a feedback button, because the feedback from your students is going to be so valuable to the future success of your course. So once you've organised in your mind, okay, this is what I want, I'm going to have 10 tabs, and each of those tabs is going to have a different title so that my student knows straight away this is where I'm going for my course. Then you could go into designing the actual course, which goes into more detail of ADDIE and how you can cater very closely to what the students need. Another important area of Moodle in the actual creation, once you've got your tabs organised for the top here, you really need to know what the overall appearance of your course is going to be, and we use blocks to organise this. Each of these areas here, where it says people, navigation, administration, and over to the right, activities, these are all blocks, and we can add and remove blocks as we like. And quite often, some of these blocks are maximized out and they can be a little bit overwhelming. I tend to keep them all minimized so that I always know what's on my screen. And I would try to not have too many blocks, especially if it's younger students. It's to keep it simple, and people who are unfamiliar with using Moodle, I guess you'd want to keep it rather simple. But as with anything, if the blocks are not easy to navigate and understand, you're not going to have students that are engaged with the course. And of course, without student engagement, there cannot be any sort of learning. So having an idea of what blocks you want, where you're going to place them, and how those blocks are going to clearly reflect whatever your tabs here are is really, really important. So under this training course, you can go down, and here I have an image explaining what the blocks are, and further down here is a video that can be watched that explains how to add, delete and reposition blocks to make the page more user-friendly, and further down again what sort of blocks are available. As you can see here, it's quite an extensive list of different blocks that can make each of your courses very, very tailor-made to the student's needs. And then for further information, each of these blocks have individual instructions, and they can be found by clicking on the docs.moodle.org website here, which goes into quite good detail on how each of these blocks is actually to be used. Then after that, we have resources. Resources is actually nothing under this tab, and we know that because it's in the pale blue. Once the course has gone dark blue, we know that there's information in there, but the pale blue means there's no information in there presently. But these can be used for anything from maps, images, PDF files, YouTube links or quizzes. So the student who wants to know where is the resource for the course, for the chapter they're studying or the part of the course they're at, they just click on resources, and under there it could be clearly dated, or there could be sub-tabs, subheadings, and they can just click through and go for the resources. And ideally, the resources will have all the little check boxes on the right hand side, which will check off once they've completed each task, and that then informs them of their progress through the course. Any course, of course, it's important to have feedback. And feedback is what informs the teacher, the trainer, the course manager, what is going well and what needs to be looked at, what needs to be improved more, what needs to be eliminated. This is all a part of the continual improvement and the only way that you can hope for future success in a course is that you really take on board feedback, especially if a number of people give you the same feedback. Therefore, that's a good sign that there is a weakness in the course that needs to be addressed. The other feedback is, what are we doing well? Students need to be encouraged, or users of Moodle need to be encouraged to also give feedback on what works, because if we know what works, we can do it again and again. So anyway, that's basically what Moodle is and how it's used on the internet. It's a very valuable tool. I'm a full-time teacher in Kazakhstan, and presently I teach students in London, and I use Moodle, and my favorite app is the Big Blue Button, where I live stream to my students in London, and it is absolutely wonderful. The whiteboard is also a valuable tool, but of course each of the apps could really have its own 15-minute tutorial on how to use it and manipulate it. As time goes by, I'm sure Moodle will grow and develop and get stronger and stronger, and possibly even more user-friendly. At this point, navigationally, it's sometimes a little bit challenging and not very clear, but as time goes by and this valuable feedback comes back to the course, it will grow and change and be a really, really fantastic tool, well worth any teacher or trainer having as part of their repertoire for teaching. Thank you very much.